The Rohingya are a group of Muslims who live in Myanmar, a country where most people are Buddhist. They mostly live in a place called Rakhine State, and for many years they haven't been treated fairly. The government of Myanmar says they aren't citizens, which means they don't have a country. A law made in 1982 took away their citizenship, making them like strangers in their own home. Because they aren't citizens, they can't go to school, see a doctor, or get a job easily. They're always afraid of being hurt or bothered, and some Buddhist monks and groups say mean things about them. Even though the Rohingya have lived there for a long time, people say they don't belong and shouldn't be there. All of this bad treatment made way for even worse things to happen. What's happening in Myanmar shows us how dangerous it is when people don't like others just because they are different. Everyone deserves to be treated equally and fairly. The Rohingya need our help, and it's important for everyone to stand up for them. In 2017, things got much worse in Myanmar. The army started hurting the Rohingya people, even families, trying to force them to leave. Soldiers destroyed villages and hurt and killed many people, including women and children. Many women and girls were badly hurt. Thousands of people had to run away from their homes. The United Nations said this was a very clear case of ethnic cleansing, meaning the army was trying to get rid of the Rohingya people. They even found places where many people were buried together, and pictures taken from above showed that whole villages were destroyed. The Myanmar government said they were only fighting bad people, but it was clear that wasn't true. Countries all over the world said what was happening was wrong and that someone needed to be held responsible. The Rohingya people were very scared and had lost everything, and they didn't know what would happen to them. What happened to the Rohingya is terrible, and it shows how cruel people can be. We must remember what happened to them and make sure that those responsible are held accountable. Because the army was so mean, more than 740,000 Rohingya had to run away from Myanmar to a nearby country called Bangladesh. This caused a lot of problems for Bangladesh because so many people needed help all at once. The Rohingya had seen terrible things and lost everything. They had to live in temporary shelters that were crowded and dirty. There wasn't enough food, clean water, or medicine. People got sick easily, especially children. The government of Bangladesh and some other groups are trying to help, but it's very difficult. Other countries need to help too, so the Rohingya can get the help they need. What's happening to the Rohingya is very sad, and it shows how war and being treated badly can hurt so many people. We can't ignore them. We need to care about them and help them. We need to find a way for them to be safe and live good lives. Countries around the world said that hurting the Rohingya was wrong, and the United Nations wanted someone to investigate what happened. Some countries punished Myanmar, but not much else has been done. The Myanmar government hasn't let anyone investigate and doesn't seem to care about what happened to the Rohingya. Even though it's difficult, there is still hope. A special court called the International Criminal Court is looking into the bad things that happened to the Rohingya, which is an important step. What happened to the Rohingya shows if the world really cares about human rights and following the law. We can't let the people who did this get away with it. We need to make sure they are held responsible. We need to help the Rohingya refugees and find a way for them to go back home safely and live good lives.